Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. This is the committee's connecting meeting, and I hope that's what you guys are looking forward to. And if not, stay anyhow. It's great. Let's go ahead and start with the Serenity Prayer. Unmute if you'd be so kind. Serenity Prayer. God,
Grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Okay, let's start off. Everyone is welcome here, and if you would be kind enough to put your name and email address and service positions in the chat box, that would be so very helpful. So today we're going to start off with our, let's see, well, we don't have a name for it for sure, but let's call it Committee's Connecting Question. And so how that's going to work is that each month we'll ask a question that is whose answer was given in the month previously. So the Board of Trustees, Grania got sent to me a question that I'm going to ask to all you all. So Steve and I will be responsible for archives and communications to get questions, just to add a little confusion into it, to Linda or myself, so that we can ask that next month. Is kind of just a fun quiz for everyone. So let's go ahead and use electronic hands. I'm going to ask a question from the Board of Trustees, and Grania's here to let us know if we're correct or not. So, where can I find all the previously adopted resolutions from past World Service Conference meetings? I think you can find that in the Book of Past Resolutions. Grania?
Are you asking me if that's the correct answer, Carla?
Having no other hands, I am.
That is the correct answer. All previous resolutions are on the website in the Book of Previous Conference Resolutions.
Okay, does that mean I get to go? Okay, sorry. Thank you. So I appreciate that, because I wasn't 100% sure, and I'm glad to know that, because sometimes I need to look for those. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Today we're going to hear from Steve at Archives. I can't help but say, Steve, I didn't know we were going to dress up. That would have been so much fun. You look fantastic. Please take it away. Oh, hang tight 1 second for me. Can we get a timer? We're going to time Stephen. Stephen, you've got 20 minutes. No pressure.
Wow.
Tamara, would you like to time? We heard your wow. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is Steve, and I'm a compulsive overeater. And before I start my presentation, I'm going to be showing something visually. So in order for you to see it more clearly, my suggestion is that you either put instead of gallery view, you can put it on speaker view, or you can pin my square, so that way I will be, your focus will be on me rather than the grid. And also, I'd like to invite my archive committee members who are here to just introduce themselves. So if you can unmute, and this is being recorded, which is why I dressed up, you know, and have my banner. I'm in character. This is a service position. So that's just a little cosplay that I do, and it makes me feel, you know, I get in the spirit. So it's not a requirement. It's just something that I like to do for fun. So thank you if you noticed and think that it's helpful. So would my fellow committee members just introduce themselves before I begin?
Hi, I'm Dottie, Senior Archivist.
Hey, I'm Joey, a member of the Archive Committee.
I'm Tamara, the newest member of the Archives Committee.
Is that everyone that's here? Okay, thank you. One of the things that Joey does is that he records our meetings for the archives. You know, we are mandated, and also it's our purpose to record everything that we do, our great work. And he also, you know, he gets the meeting started, and he does a lot of service. So he's really an invaluable asset to the community. Dottie, who is the rotating out chair of the committee, she did it for many, many years as senior archivist. She is responsible, and she does a tremendous job of dealing with the bulk of all our documents and records. She manages the equipment. She is actually physically bringing some of our material to our storage facility in Long Island this year. So she is invaluable. So, and I'm really happy that we do have a new liaison, Deborah, and of course I see Gabby and our other members. So there are some absentee members that are here, but the purpose of the archive committee, and I'm just going to read it. First of all, what we do is and I have this written down, is the purpose of the archives committee is to collect, organize, characterize, copy, preserve, and electronically store historically valued documents, digital materials, printed materials, and historical items of GreySheeters Anónimos World Service. That's the short view. I am a teacher. I'm a retired teacher, and I am an artist. I'm a visual artist. I'm a painter and a photographer. And one of the things that I taught in high school was the history of art. The history of art is the history of civilization, because people are what they do. So it's not just food, it's art, religion, language, customs. Everything that we do tells the story of us. So in terms of GreySheeters Anonymous, I joined this fellowship. My abstinence date is my biological birthday, April 27th. The year is 2005. I'm only here a short time, and I'm only going to be here a short time. So I think in terms of my presence and my contribution, one of the things that I feel strongly about is that each member is an invaluable part, and least we disappear without leaving a trace, and that our fellowship denigrate into myth and legend as our original members make transition, that the archive committee is responsible, and it is our service position to preserve our history for present and future generations. So how do we do that? And I'm going to show a presentation and talk over it that tells you and shows you how I've used the material in terms of our events, our locations when we have events, how I've documented that so it can be used at our events when we do speaker jams or roundups or retreats or whatever, especially for new members to know where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going. That's what an archivist does. It's really a conservationist. It serves as our repository, but also as a retired teacher, I feel it's an opportunity to take a teaching moment and just educate and share and pass on the knowledge of all the work that we've done, why we do what we do, how it all started, where we're going with it. So if I can, I'm going to screen share. And this is a picture of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now, what I'm doing is, and this is going to be a documentary that I'd like our committee to work on. The literature committee is doing a history book, but I want to do a documentary. So this is a historical view of a Cambridge where it all started. And this is one of the members, two of the members, husband and wife team that started that radical rebel group in Cambridge, the OA meeting that focused on GreySheet abstinence. As a photographer, I think it's good to have images of historical sites of where meetings were held. And if you live in an area or if you go traveling, I wouldn't call it a pilgrimage, or a Hajj, but I think it's great to sort of visit places where early GreySheeters went for meetings before our fellowship was founded as an individual 12-step program. So that's what I do when I go to New York, which is where I'm from. So yeah, I never been to this meeting, but I hear a lot about it. But this is the church. I also have images and dates of when we published certain things, when we had our first roundup in New York City, when we became a 12-step program in 1998. That's our birth date, when we had an intergroup. These are some of the key points along our journey when we actually purchased the copyright for the food plan and had our first World Service Conference in Philadelphia in 2013. When we published our first piece of literature in 2015 and Living Abstinent. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to apologize for speaking too quickly, but I'm just so excited and a little nervous. But yeah, when we had our first census, and then when the pandemic struck, we went virtual with our meetings. We didn't miss a beat, and certain meetings got founded. So basically, as an archivist, it's not just paper and minutes and documents. You know, there are certain things that have happened in our history that we want people to know about, and also acknowledge the people who were instrumental in making those events happen. So I'm a member of the Men's Committee, which we founded in 2022. We celebrated our birthday. We're 25 as a fellowship, and we finally got back together in New York City face to face at the New York Roundup. So these are pivotal historical events in our history. This is where we store our documents in Long Island at Garden City. But eventually, what I would like to do for the future is make these materials available on a website that people can join and sort of document, sort of like do some research. When we have a brick and mortar office in the future, I hope one day it would house an archive that would serve as a visiting center and museum for the archives, and where people can sit down and listen to interviews that were done. Joey did a lot of them, and also borrow materials. We have a leasing library and also sell literature at our bookstore at our central office, which I hope would be in New York. And instead of paying somebody to house our stuff, we would have our own repository. And in our brick and mortar central office, we can have meetings. But what we did was we purchased a quilt, a blanket that was made by one of the founding members of Cambridge OA. So we hope that we will write a proposal to produce this document to get reimbursed for the quilt, where it can serve as a rotating, traveling relic of our past. I always think that since I'm looking at a gallery view here, each member is like a little square in the blanket of our community, of our fellowship. So I especially want to encourage and invite people who have a passion for history or for research, or if you're a geek like me who just love learning, join our committee or just come and visit. And what I've done, and I'm going to stop because I think you got the point, that I love this fellowship and I owe it my life. But I think that the people who came before us and the people that are here, my life and my recovery is transitory, but I think the legacy and what we're building that other people are going to stand on is ageless. So even though my body is 72, my spirit and my contribution is young. I've only begun to sort of see where I fit in and how I can lead this fellowship better for me being here. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much for your patience, and I'd be very happy to hear from you. My contact information, if you want to reach out or just sort of come to our monthly business meeting as a visitor, but also if you don't have a prior commitment, to see where you'd like to fit in, and we'd be very happy and grateful to have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic, that virtual tour. Thank you. So yes, if you're wanting to join the committee or just to check them out, get a hold of Steve. Thank you very much. Okay, let's pause for the seventh tradition. We'll go ahead and put the information in how to contribute to GSAs. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. Great. Okay, well, I'm Carla, and I am going to present for the communication committee. I'm abstinent and grateful. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day from the gray sheet. I write them down, call them in, eat them, nothing else in between. Just for today, abstinence is the most important thing in my life without exception. Tamara? I can't hear you. You're muted. But I think 20 minutes. Though it won't go that long, but that would be great. Thank you very much. Okay, so the communication committee is here to facilitate communication and promote collaboration among the compulsive eater who still suffers, the GreySheeters Anonymous membership in the World Service Conference committees and caucuses, and the General Service Board. And members of the committee who are here, I saw Linda Mack is here, and Joey is here. Joey is our board liaison, and he really liaises. He is just, we're just really grateful to have him as the liaison for the committee, and glad to have you both here. So we are talking about what the committee does, which I'll be offering you in part because we we don't have any implementation that we're doing this year that we hadn't already started. If our one resolution this year was to modify the way that traditions and concepts were being brought forward to the community and to the delegates. And we started that, as hopefully all of you know, last year with quarterly roundups, which were in February, May, and in August. And so we will be continuing those again. We have one coming up on February 25th. And we do have, we will have 4 speakers who will speak on traditions and concepts 1 through 4. And we are looking for speakers for our May and August roundups. And if you have a passion for and are practiced with the traditions or concepts, please contact us. You can email to communication@greysheet.org. That would be great. And additionally, in 2024, I talked to the committee yesterday, and we don't know of any new and fabulous plans that we have to take on. And much of that is because we have a lot of fabulous programs that we oversee and work with. And in in 2021, somewhere in those, we had lots and lots of resolutions. So the list of things that are the key items that we do as a committee is the roundups that I just mentioned, giving the delegates who will be at the World Conference meetings an opportunity to know how the traditions and concepts work. And one of the things that we wanted to morph into with this roundup concept was having people share more experientially about how they are using those in their service work or even in their personal lives. So I'll just speak for myself. Sometimes they're a little bit dry and hard for me to grasp as well, some more than others. And so having people talk about how they are in their lives just really makes it possible for me to take them in. We also do Service Matters, the monthly newsletter that goes out to folks that have subscribed to it and or view it on the website. We have the GreySheeters Anonymous podcast. We oversee the phone list and the area contacts list, and we are responsible for the startup sponsor oversight. Those are the key things. Jump in, either of you two, if I have missed something. The podcast current update is that we will be recording on the 15th, and we're going to be talking about it. The subject is not a diet. So we have a couple of folks who will be sharing about the various diets that they did go through to find GreySheet and how GreySheet is different, in hopes that we can both reach the compulsive eater who still suffers, that's out there in the world listening to podcasts, as well as bolster the program of those folks who are inside our community and needing a little shot in the arm. So I'll share this because it's a distinction that was difficult for me to get for a bit. We have 2 different phone lists available to us, or 2 contact lists. The first one is a phone list, and it is by subscription only. So there's a sign up through the website, and then we are given periodically login information and password information so that we can get in and find a list of, I don't know how many, I can't recall how many are on the phone list. Grania, do you want to throw out the possibility?
850.
850 people that we can call, and it shows geographically, so you can if you're looking for folks in a particular area, you can have it sort that way. It's really, really valuable information, and I know that I don't use it enough. The second list is an email list, the contacts list, which is available on the website. And one of the ways that I feel like it's really valuable for our current membership is that if I'm going on a business trip to Poughkeepsie, I can go in and look for folks that are in that area to both find out what are the good restaurants, or, hey, do you want to get together with me and have coffee and fellowship? And so I find those both lists both valuable, and you are, if you don't already subscribe to them, you can do so off of the website. The startup sponsor program is just as it sounds. Folks can, who are new to the program, can have someone call them and actually talk to them about the GreySheet, get them started when they have that small window of availability, or that was certainly me, or what's the word I'm looking for? Willingness, right? See, it's hard for me to even remember now. That small bit of willingness, and we've got someone there that can talk to them in a very brief. The startup sponsors, I believe, commit to contacting folks back within 48 hours, could even be 24 hours, quickly, really quickly. And so we have a group of people who are available to do that calling, and it's really quite a commitment. That is too, there is a way to find out more information about this being a startup sponsor on the website. So that is a bit of what we are doing as the communication committee. We have a good crew of folks who are with us, and for a limited time only, not really, whenever you feel moved or passionate about the work that we're doing, we always need more hands and hearts. So please, you can email me at communication@greysheet.org. Oh yeah, and we also host the Committees Connecting group. See, there's things. I know there are many more things that we do. So please feel free to join us. And I think I'll put an invitation out to Linda or Joey to hop in with anything that I may have, any gross errors or missings. No? Okay, good. Okay, so that's what we have. Does anybody have any announcements? Grania, do you have any announcements? We'll start with you.
Thank you, Carla. I'm Grania, compulsive eater in Ireland, abstinent and grateful today. I'd like to add something about the startup sponsor team that Carla mentioned, because I am the first point of contact when a newcomer calls and gets referred to the startup sponsor team. The startup sponsor team was a conference adopted program with the specific proposition that it be for newcomers only, those people who cannot get started in the program because they don't know anything about 12-step programs, they've never been to a meeting, they don't understand Zoom, they don't even know what a sponsor is. It's not a sponsor matching service for people who are already in GreySheeters Anonymous. And we get calls almost weekly from people saying, I went to a meeting, I asked for a sponsor, and they told me to call this number that you would get me a sponsor. That's not how it works. And I am not speaking Spanish, even though Zoom seems to think I am here. Sorry about that. And the other announcement I would have is that we have our first town hall of 2024 on the last Sunday in January, the 28th of January. This is an open meeting for all GreySheet members to hear more about World Services, to ask your questions, raise your concerns, make suggestions, and so the first 20 to 30 minutes is just answering your questions. And then we will have a report of the results of last year's GreySheet Counts, our project to connect and count us around the world. So the census that you participated in last year, the results will be reported at the town hall on the 28th. And then we will have a description of intergroups from Europe and two others, which I can't remember right now. So come and hear more about other intergroups and the results of the census on the 28th, and that information is on the website. I think that's all from me, Carla. Thank you.
You betcha, Grania. Does anybody else have any announcements they want to share with this great crew of 38? Joey, please.
Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Grania. My name is Joey, a compulsive eater. I am the chair for the 7th edition, and one of the things that we were tasked from the Board of Trustees to do in 2022, at the end of 2022, is to build an internal Facebook that we started. And the members of the Facebook is Grania, Ofer from Israel, Mindy, and Lee. So what we've been doing is that we're building this forum, which would be a part of a certain committee. And we would like to have members who would like, GreySheet members who haven't been a member of the internal Facebook. It's just for our own internal Facebook account. The information is in the chat. And what we would like to do is we'd reach to different committees and intergroups where you could avail of the use of the Facebook for any related announcements that you would like to put in. You're looking for members, you're looking for things, in any kind of meetings that you have. When we go to a meeting, any GreySheet related announcements, is that what we would like to put into our Facebook, internal Facebook. So, that's a good one. Poppy, hello, Poppy. But I would also put the information in the chat. If you would like to be a member, please do so. And if you'd like to be a liaison for our Facebook, please reach out to your chair, and we would glad to get your email address and make sure that we put a gentle reminder for you on a monthly basis to make use of our Facebook account. So that's my my intro for the Facebook. Thanks, Carla.
Thank you, Joey. It is just getting better and better. Our internal Facebook page. I've really been appreciating it so much. Does anybody have any questions for either Steve or myself? Marvin, Marvin's got things to say, I can tell.
Yeah, once in a while I like to speak. Marvin A., trustee of the BOT, liaison for the conference. I just want to announce, just in case there's any GSRs on this committee connection meeting. I'm not going to chant it out. We have a lot of GSRs that didn't get involved with committees. Please find your niche in the world and join one of those committees. We need you. You don't need us. Thank you.
Thank you, Marvin. Yes, yes, yes.
I have an announcement.
Please come on in.
Oh, yes. On behalf of the GCA Men Inc., I just wanted to thank all of you who supported our New Beginnings Speaker Jam. It was an awesome success. We had a great turnout. You were very generous with your donations. The committee is going to be planning our GreySheeters Anonymous anniversary birthday event sometime in April. And one of the things, one of the fun activities that we would like to do, and I just got the inspiration for it by the questions that you were quizzed with, is GreySheet Jeopardy. Okay, and we would post questions and we would use the poll and see what your knowledge level and about GreySheet trivia. So, we want to have fun since we're on Zoom. We want to have fun in person, but I just wanted to thank you for everybody who supported it. And we invite you and encourage you to come to our next event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. That sounds fantastic. Love a game.
May I ask a question about that? This
Sure,
is
Lori.
Michigan. Oh, thank you. Steve, is there a way, if I want to donate to that, to be able to do it through one of the intergroups that's a 501c3, or does it have to be on the person-to-person treasurer level?
Okay, that's a very good question. The corporation, we're a nonprofit. We do have a treasurer, and we have a Venmo account. And no, PayPal and Zelle account. What I'll do, if I may, I'll put the flyer in the chat and how you can support us. Thank you so much.
So there is a 501c3 tax exempt ID number?
Yeah, I don't know it because I'm sort of like not knowledgeable about that, but I can get you in touch with our treasurer if you want that number. But if you want to donate, what I'll do is I'll just put the information in the chat. And if you need further information regarding that, we can hook you up with the person who has that information. These are guys that have that expertise, and you know, it's sort of out of my depth, but we do have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much. Does anybody else have any questions or announcements? There's a couple of good, yes, Karen, come on in, and then Dottie.
Yes, I'm Karen. I'm a compulsive overeater, and the Pacific Northwest Retreat will be happening July 26, 27, and 28 this year. Pray, plan, prepare, and protect is the title, and registration will be on GreySheet.org very, very soon.
Hi, I'm Dottie, compulsive eater, and I'm just asking people as they create documents to please date them. You guys drive me crazy. At least a year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dottie. Grania?
Thank you, Carla. Since we have some time, do we have a minute? I can't tell. I've lost track of time.
Yes.
We have every group is registered with World Services, and every 2 years every group needs to re-register so that World Services has accurate current information about your group. And so it is time for all registered GSA groups to re-register, renew your registration. So go to the World Services website, GreySheet.org, go under groups, and you can choose either register my group or update my registration. And you can renew your registration. It is only available in English. So if you need assistance with that, please let us know, and we can make sure that we have a bilingual person support you in registering your group. So every group that wants its meetings listed on the website needs to renew its registration by February 29th. Thanks, Carla.
Thank you, Grania. Okay. Well, if there are no questions, no other announcements, it may be time for us to wind up and enjoy 25 minutes of unexpected time. I'm sure we can all use that. Thank you, Steve, for your wonderful presentation. And next meeting will be the 11th of February, and the conference committee and finance will be presenting at that meeting, and you'll have a question about the communication committee and the archives committee to have a chance to answer. And so would all those who care to please join in the serenity prayer. Let's do the we version. Serenity prayer. God.
God,
grant me the
the
serenity
serenity,
accept the things we cannot
accept the
change,
things I cannot
courage
change,
to change the things we can,
courage to change the
wisdom
things we
and the
can,
ability
and the wisdom to know the
Don,
difference.
coming back.
Coming back.
keep coming
Keep on
back.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Carla.
Good job, Carla.
Gracias, Olga.
Thank you, Carla.